sound personal. Getting up attention. Can I do what you know? The people know when you feel. A whole lot of banda don't deal. Some I want to sample, already get sample. None of them out they don't kill. And then when you want to hear and hear you. You know so much them from hear you. But you don't need to figure that. You don't suck your bed. Tell them that somebody they go on. So you don't see you can never. When anything. What? Don't go talk to some person. Getting up attention. Oh man, are you hard and love you? They don't see you can never. When anything never. Oh man, don't go talk to some person. Getting up attention.
One more time. Busting on my life, man, I'm feeling for crying. Taking on me out, baby, that's no lie. Well, that's no lie. Come now, game of life. Son, while I pressure you with one more time. Busting on my life, man, I'm feeling for crying. Taking on me out, baby, that's no lie. Well, that's no lie. God, my well, let's come into now.
Oh, I gotta restart this little mix sound good. Pals, I see you. Welcome on in. I see you.
Taking on me out, baby, that's no lie. Well, that's no lie. Come now, game of life. Son, while I pressure you with one more time. Busting on my life, man, I'm
okay, pals, thank you so much. You already know what time it is. Oh, did I post it to my story? Did I post it to my story? Thank you. We're grabbing our daily heartbeat and liking the live. You already know what to do. Let me just. I don't know if I posted it to my story. Pals, I see you liking the live. Thank you so much. Dr. Lewis, I see you. Welcome on in. How is the audio? Thumbs up in the chat if the audio is good. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? This is office hours. I gotta get serious. Yo, welcome on in. Welcome on in. Let's wrap up 2025. Okay. Let's wrap up 2025. That's what I'm feeling right now. Joy, welcome on in. Long time no see. Aaron, I see you. Welcome on in. We're grabbing our daily heartbeat, liking the live. Once we hit 5K likes, you already know what time it is. What we do at 5K likes. Dr. Lewis, did you grab your daily heartbeat? What's going on, Joy? I hope you're doing well, Joy. Welcome on in. We're grabbing our daily heartbeat and liking the live. Once we hit 5K likes, we're going to go ahead and get started with our office hours. I see you, Aaron. Thank you so much. Miss Nita, welcome on in. I see you. Thank you so much. Pals, I see you tapping in. Thank you so much, pals. I appreciate you. Okay. Yo, y'all can do the rest for me. Y'all can repost and send out for me. I can't. What one, Aaron? Yo, this was an extra. This was an extra. Joy. Damn, Joy. You got laid off yesterday. Guess what? You're not the only one. I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing with you. You're not the only one, Joy. Okay. I didn't get laid off, but there's enough people got laid off yesterday and last week and last month. It's 2025. There's a lot going on. But guess what? God works in mysterious ways, and you're going to get you a job in no time soon, okay? Don't stress about it. Things will open up for you, okay? Today is a surprise office hours, like a little extra when I wasn't going to go live. I was just going to save this all for the conference. But We're gonna do what it do, okay? The short stuff, welcome on in. The short stuff, I'm glad you're here to see office hours with Dr. Johnson, the professional side of me. I'm always cutting up on your side, so I'm glad you're here. The short stuff, welcome on in. Everyone, we are grabbing our daily heartbeat and liking the live. Once we hit 5K likes, we're gonna go ahead and get started. Once we hit 5K likes, we're gonna go ahead and get started. You messing me up. I was about to go live. You better hold on. Just give me 5-10 minutes. Just hang out with me for 5-10 minutes. I'm going to bed. Have a good life. Somebody give you a heart. Miss Nita, you do a lot for me already. Okay, Miss Nita? If you don't do nothing else for me, you've done enough. Okay, Miss Nita, I appreciate you. Shout out to you, Miss Nita. Get the rest that you need. I just want to wrap up 2025 and just go to sleep and wake up in 2026, okay? So as you all know, once we hit 5K likes, we're going to go ahead and get started. We're going to briefly go through our trending topic in healthcare. Then we are, Marcia, why are you laughing at me? Trending topic in healthcare. Then we're going to do our interview, and then we're going to wrap it up with some professor tips. Hey. Marcia, how was your day? I know you had a busy day. Exactly the short stuff. Let's wrap this year up. Adriana, let's wrap up 2025. You joined just in time. Adriana, we're tapping the live. We're getting it to 5K likes. Once we hit 5K likes, we're going to go ahead and get started on our brief trending topic in healthcare. Professor Tips. Exactly. That's how we wrap up each session with Professor Tips. Welcome on in. Welcome on in. I'm tired. Dr. Lewis, I see you. Thank you so much. It's a mix. You all know we're keeping Jamaican in our prayers, so all my music from now on will be hey. Welcome to Office Hours with Dr. Johnson, y'all. We are getting to 5K likes. Once we hit 5K likes, we're going to go ahead and get started on our trending topic in healthcare. Then we're going to do our interview, and then we are going to wrap it up with Professor Tips. Welcome on in, everybody. Welcome on in. We are halfway there. Thank you so much for sort stuff. And guess what? We all still praying for Haiti. Jamaica's going through catastrophic events, but we're still praying for Haiti, okay? We are still praying for Haiti because Haiti still has a lot to deal with and a lot to overcome. But thank you. Okay, the short stuff. I see you. Dr. Lisa, welcome on in. I see you. Marcia, I see you liking the live. Thank you so much for your support. Y'all know what time it is. Once we hit 5K likes, we're going to go ahead and get started on our trending topic in healthcare. We're going to do our interview and then wrap it up with some professor tips. This was an extra office hours with Dr. Johnson. I wasn't planning to go live, but Dr. Lisa, I see you. Welcome on in. Mecca Joy, I see you. Welcome on in. Miss Nike, I see you. Thank you for grabbing your daily heartbeat. Once we hit 5K likes, we're going to go ahead and get started on our trending topic in healthcare. Pals, can we pin that? Trending topic in healthcare is going to be... I'm running back last week's trending topic in healthcare because it is still important and we still got to discuss it. So the trending topic in healthcare today is going to be the SNAP benefits and discounts. I'm going to run through that one more time because it is important. I'm not even going to take it there. Pals, trending topic, SNAP benefits and discounts. You already know what time it is. Good evening, Ms. Nike. I hope you're doing well. Ms. Nike, I really want you to come back for Thursday. Navigating the Winter Blues, a mental health panel. I would love for you to be able to participate and just engage in that conversation and receive some of those gems, okay? Today's just an extra office hours of a still meaningful, still productive, still engaging, and still important conversation, but Thursday is the big day. We're going to talk about that towards the end of the interview, okay? Okay, we almost there. Once we hit 5K likes, we're going to go ahead and get started on our trending topic in healthcare. I see you. Thank you so much. Oh. Hold on, y'all be moving so fast and get me to 5K. I don't even be ready for my thing. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate you. Y'all got me to 5.5K. Are you using Studio? No, I'm using YouTube Can you say YouTube on here? Don't throw me off. I'm in mode right now. Welcome to Office Hours with Dr. Johnson. Dr. Lewis is in the chat telling me to focus. Okay, you gave me a taste of my own medicine. I see you. Everybody, welcome. I was not planning to go live, but guess what? I still want to make sure I show up, and I still want to make sure I stick to the expectation that you guys have of me, which is a live every Tuesday at 7 p.m. So you guys expect to see Dr. Johnson every Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, with an office hours, with a trending topic, with a subject matter expert who I interview, and then ending it off with Professor Tip. So even though my big day is this Thursday, I still want to make sure I showed up. And with me showing up, I want to make sure I invited an important person who is a subject matter expert as well within their own respective fields to show up with me today as well too. So like I told you guys earlier on, I want to run back last week's trending topic in healthcare. Okay? Last week's trending topic in healthcare, I discussed SNAP benefits, the recipients, and the discounts that they receive. So yes, you get your EBT card, but just know with being a recipient, there is so many other benefits and resources that is available to you. A lot of you guys may not have received your drop for the month of November. I'm sorry. We sorry. Okay? I'm sorry. Okay? But just know there are other benefits and other discounts available to recipients of SNAP. Okay? You guys know I have my notes here and I have my screens here with information, with real news, real facts, supportive information, supportive news, okay? Real news, real facts. I'm emphasizing the real news, real facts, real information. SNAP benefits can be used to get various discounts, including the internet service through the Affordable Connectivity Program. SNAP benefits get various discounts, including internet service through the Affordable Connectivity Program. Free or reduced admission to museums, zoos, and other cultural institutions or programs through Museums for All. Okay, so two things we got to write down for something. If it's not for you, it's for somebody you know. Affordable Connectivity Program and Museums for All. There's also discounted rates on utilities, transit, and some groceries or food deliveries. Okay? Briefly, the Affordable Connectivity Program, also known as the ACP, get a discount of up to $30 per month off of your bill. Okay? Also, through the ACP, the Affordable Connectivity Program, you can also get a one-time discount of $100 on a laptop, tablet, or desktop. This is all for being a recipient of SNAP. Okay, we got to talk about stuff that's important. We got to talk about stuff that can relate to us and relate to the people. Okay. Museums, zoos, and cultural attractions. Museums for All. SNAP recipients can get free or reduced admission to participating museums, zoos, and other cultural sites just by showing your EBT card. Just by showing your EBT card. Okay. Groceries and food delivery. Healthy incentives. Some states offer incentives that give SNAP recipients extra funds or discounts when they buy fruits and vegetables. Delivery services such as DoorDash and Instacart offer discounts on delivery fees or percentage off of groceries for SNAP recipients. Okay? Utility bill discounts. You may be able to receive discounts on your gas and electricity bill if you are a SNAP recipient. All you have to do is contact your utility company to see if you qualify. Okay? Let's talk about important stuff. Okay? I want to wrap it up here. I'm just breezing through this. I don't know how long I'm going to breeze through this trending topic in healthcare, but this trending topic in healthcare, I'm going to keep breezing through it and keep bringing it up because folks still, we're not even going to take it. Miss Renita, welcome on in. I'll see you. If you are not a SNAP recipient, we all know somebody who's a SNAP recipient. Okay? Share this information, share this news, share my trending topic with them. There's a multitude of resources and benefits for SNAP recipients. Even though you may not have gotten your drop for this month, you still have access to other resources and other discounts based on your SNAP eligibility. Okay? Just a deep sigh, you know? And I don't like to make my office hours too political, but America is affected, okay? Round of applause in the chat, and we all just want to wrap up 2025. I was just on a meeting call with the board at my alumni college, and I told them we gotta wrap this meeting up, and we also gotta wrap up 2025. Can I get us a couple round of applause in the chat if y'all are ready to just wrap up the year 2025? Are we ready to wrap up the year 2025? There's round of applause. Okay, I see two people. That's all I needed. Two people just to wrap up the year 2025. Yo, I see you sort stuff. Next, let's transition over to our interview. Okay. A thumbs up or praying hands is me acknowledging you guys in the chat, as you all know this already. A thumbs up or praying hands is me acknowledging you guys in the chat. I don't want to interrupt my guests as they're speaking. Let me set up before I bring them up, because, you know, I'm prepared for my subject matter experts. Hold on, give me a minute. Oh, the short stuff. Your concern is 2026 going to be better? I'm not even going to answer that, because that's just going to take us into a whole other situation. And we try not to get it too political. We're trying to just be light and fresh, informative, educational. It's not going to be better, but we could hope for the best. And Dr. Lewis just said God is on your side, okay? He's on our side. Okay, let me bring up my guest. Let's get things started. Cassandra, I see you. Welcome on in. Office hours with Dr. Johnson. Dr. Lisa, I see you. Welcome, ma'am.
How are you? How are you?
Oh, I can't hear you. Wait, can you hear me? Hold on.
I can hear you loud and clear. Can you hear me?
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, welcome, Miss Cassandra. I see you. Welcome on in. Joy, please send me a private message. We're gonna talk about that more. Okay, Cassandra, welcome on in. I see you. Dr. Lisa, thank you so much for taking the time to step into office hours with Dr. Johnson. I appreciate you. I know you're a busy lady. You be in these TikTok streets. However, like I told you a couple weeks ago, I was in a live with you and you dropped all your credentials. And I said, oh, I need to speak. I need to bring her over into my office hours. You guys all know I'm big on representation. I'm big on higher education. I'm big on accomplishment. And it's never to boast and brag. It's always to show, hey, if we could do it, you can do it too. You know? So, Dr. Lisa, my interviews are dedicated to the interviewee. It's a opportunity for us to get to know you, get to know your educational and your professional journey. Over here, we always discuss pivoting into different areas and going to school or even going back to school. So I always like to bring my guests who have or accomplished and subject matter experts in their respective fields. Okay, so we're going to leave with that. Okay. So can you start us off with your educational and professional background? Obviously, this is social media, so whatever names you don't want to share, you already know how that is. You don't have to share whatever names, you already know what it is. But can you start us off with your educational and your professional background?
Well, I started my my journey out of Illinois. So I'm originally from Chicago.
Okay.
And South side of Chicago. So those from Chicago should know. So South side of Chicago. And I went to college on a track and field scholarship. So I was a student athlete.
She's a runner. She's a runner. She's a track star.
She's a track star.
Okay.
Probably to drop some of my high school awards. I won the city championship for cross country.
Okay.
And I'm a state champion for the state for the 400 meter dash. Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah, so that's my high school, and then I'm a Big Ten champion as well because I went to a Big Ten school in Illinois.
Hmm.
So you guys can find out where that is. Spent my undergrad. I did my undergrad there. Well, I'll name it. University of Illinois. I went to University U of I and got my undergrad in sociology, and then I decided to pursue my master's in social work. So I have a master's in social work from the U of I.
Right.
And I actually went, my next door neighbor at the time, I was started my career off in child welfare. My mother was a foster parent and she supported multiple kids with special needs throughout my childhood. So I
Oh, you still on mute?
to go
Okay.
into, yeah, I had a phone call coming through, so I had to
Sorry.
end it. So I decided to go into social work as a profession, and I worked for a child welfare agency. And I
Hmm.
was, a young 20-something-year-old at the time, and realized I was in over my head for a little bit in terms
Right.
of just that profession. It is obviously a lot of support for people when they're at their lowest. I mean,
Right.
that's just the reality of it. And I don't think I was mentally prepared for the responsibility of that. So I realized really quickly I was disillusioned by the profession and decided that I needed to make a pivot because I couldn't see myself doing that forever.
Right.
Learned a lot of great skills and techniques in terms of how to work with families. I think I bring a lot of the training to my everyday conversations, whether it's professional or, speaking with family members and my own kids and stuff. So I think that was helpful. Um, so I actually went to a networking event with my next door neighbor, and she was bringing me along. Thank you so much. She was bringing me along and said, "Hey, come on with me to this MBA program.
Hmm.
They're doing an informational." I was like, "Okay, I'll go with you." So I went to that event and then decided that I wanted to pursue my master's in business. And then so with that particular event, I decided to marry human resources when you think about helping people from the professional side of the house,
Right.
from a corporate perspective,
Right.
as well as looking at marketing and public relations. So thank you so much. Look at you guys, you're so sweet. Coming in here. This is the Launch Your Income community, the LYI family. So
Hmm.
I appreciate everybody coming through. So I decided to make that pivot. You just talked about pivots. So I
Right.
decided to make that pivot and still, like I said, take the skill sets from where I had already started my career journey to apply it to now this new profession. So got the opportunity to actually pursue my MBA. All it was paid for at the University of Illinois. Hello.
Hmm.
At the University of Illinois as well. So I did my undergrad. I did 2 master's degrees, the social work and the MBA at the U of I.
Okay.
Did an internship for my MBA with a major pharmaceutical company in New York. So that's how I got to New York for the summer. I told some people I had lived in New York for a period of time.
Hmm.
So I did an internship there. Just so happened the very first day I walked in, one of the young ladies from my high school who ran track with me
Hmm.
had went to FAMU because you're in Florida. So
Hmm.
went to FAMU, and she became my person for the summer. Like, hey, I know somebody, a familiar face. And
Right.
so we
Right.
hung out for the summer, and I got invited to a barbecue from one of the first, probably first, who knows if only, but one of the first senior leaderships executives for human resources. He was a Black man, and so he invited all the Black interns for the summer to his home, and so I got invited. And so at that barbecue, I met a boy who was from Florida.
Hmm.
And we ended up dating. And so I'm gonna date myself a little bit. So we met. This was the summer of 2020, 2001, summer
Okay.
2001. So if you do the history, you know what that summer was. So that summer we met. We had a nice little summer romance and stuff. And I ended up going back to the U of I. September 11th hit,
Hmm.
and flights, everything changed
Hmm.
for the U.S. And
Hmm.
so with that, we continued to date long distance. Now I was pretty young and daring. I got on a flight like every weekend to go visit him, and he would come down and visit me from back and forth. And tickets were like $50 round trip.
I
So
wish.
I know it was really inexpensive. Pretty daring. I know that was a tragic event, but we were dating, and so we made a go out of it. So we end up he proposed, and I end up marrying him. This is husband number one. Divorced now from him, but husband number one.
Okay.
So, So we end up moving back to New York. So this is my next stint in New York. So I end up staying in New York and living with him in Brooklyn. That's how I got to Brooklyn at that time, and stayed there. And he was originally from Jacksonville, Florida. So he had a business trip, and we went down to Miami for a vacation. Girl, never seen a beach before. I never had been to the ocean, and fell in love with the palm trees. You know, I'm from Chicago, the big city, and all I saw was like the concrete jungle. So I was like, wow, this is really nice. And so fell in love with Florida. That's how I got to Florida. And we relocated to South Florida. So I started my career off in South Florida. At the time, you know, it's funny when you talk about pivots for careers and stuff. So at the time, September 11th happened. I don't know if people remember this in the room. The job market was horrible. Like jobs was really bad. Coming out of college, you weren't able to secure employment pretty quickly at all. So when I graduated, I decided to make a decision to explore things that I already knew. I had worked in health professions in my graduate studies. I oversaw a team of the undergrad staffing for the health promotions department. And so that was part of my 2 years. I did that work in my MBA program.
Right.
And then I had also did the internship. And so I had the corporate experience, and I had created, in my internship, I had created programs surrounding new initiatives they were doing a merger and acquisition of another commercial products, and I helped with setting up some training and other programs and stuff. And so I had some program management experience. I had obviously the healthcare experience. I had the social work experience because I had done child welfare when I was doing my master's in social work. I had worked at a child welfare agency for a year and a half or so. And so all that was part of my portfolio of experience at the time. So I made a decision to apply to a couple different jobs. And because I had that background experience and obviously the 2 master's degrees, I got accepted like immediate director positions, director level positions, and supervising a team of easily 10 people plus, depending on, it was a couple of different areas that I was applying to. So I got the opportunity to go into social work again as a director of a whole social work services agency. And then I got the opportunity to go into higher ed as a director of their student programs, and I would oversee like graduation, the commencement ceremony, and all of the programs and stuff for student involvement. And I remember talking to my husband. I was like, I can go back to what I know. I can do this other thing in higher ed. Higher ed, I'm familiar with. Social services, I kind of ran from it. And I made the decision to stay in higher ed. So it was literally both job offers happened at the same, like within 24 hours of each other. So I made the decision to go into higher ed, and that's where I really kind of built my career. So because I say this for people in the room, if anybody, depending on who your audience is, if you're ever in a situation like that, you want to be in a position where you can negotiate and stuff. So I negotiated for a higher salary at the time, and I was already applying to a director level position. So I got the title as well as the salary, and that actually set the course for like all of my future careers coming straight out of, my graduate programs. So end up working for a campus that was brand new at the time, that was just building up, that just opened up for one of, I won't name drop in this case, but one of the proprietary colleges, so for-profit type institutions. So I started working for them. I worked for them for like 6 years, and then my ex, he wasn't an ex at the time, but my ex, he got laid off. Got laid off from his position. He relocated to Florida. He was in sales. So he was doing pharmaceutical sales, and they downsized their sales force. So he essentially had to look for another job. Well, we had to make a decision as a family if he would leave the state, where would we go and stuff. And so with that, we made the decision. I'll say the collective. We made the decision that he would look for an opportunity that kept us in the state of Florida. We both agreed on that, and he got a job that took him to Orlando. So that's how I ended up in Orlando. So he ended up with another pharmaceutical company that relocated us there, and I had to be a trailing spouse. So I had to leave my job. They loved me. I loved them.
Hmm.
It was sad. And then ultimately made the decision to relocate. We just had our daughter at the time. She was 18 months old. Look at you guys. Oh, thank you. Thank you for that. Vaulting hammer. Look at that. Thank you so much. I think I've ever got a vaulting hammer. Thank you for that. Look at you.
Thank you. Thank you.
I don't want vaulting hammers in here. Thank you for that. Um, so we made the decision to relocate. And so I was on the job market again, trailing spouse. Didn't have a job, had to leave my job for the relationship. Our daughter was 18 months old. At the time, it was kind of a heartbreak too, because my mother actually passed away within like 2 days of us leaving too. So all that was happening at one time. So it was really one of those moments where it was like, significantly, realizing the loss of a parent, but also the loss of what I knew as my identity in my professional life too. So very hard at the time. So came here to Orlando. Because of his employment package, we had the opportunity to get spousal assistance for me to
Okay.
find a new job. And so
Right.
took advantage of that, and I applied and again negotiated well, got with a campus here, and negotiated well. So I was in a director position again and started a new program for them. And this time I took some of my career training and background from career education, again, the MBA and stuff in HR. And so I headed up one of their student programs for internships as well as career preparation.
I like
Fast
that.
forward in that campus, I stayed at that campus just to kind of do a quick fast forward. I stayed there for 15 years and got promoted a couple times. By the time
Okay.
I left, I was there, um, assistant vice president for student affairs, overseeing career services, the internship program, student employment, as well as the some diversity programs for TRIO programs in particular. So Upper Brown and um, helping student success, student support services. And so I did that before I left, and was also advising was under my portfolio. But I did that for about 8 of the years I was there. So
Hmm.
between the two roles, and made a decision after COVID that I was one of those many people that was like, it's time for me to make a change. Obviously, working remotely, had a baby, got a new marriage. So in those 15 years, I had gotten divorced and new marriage. Another became a bonus mom as well as a new mom with a small child after my daughter was 15 years old.
Hmm.
And so all that happened during that time, and I made a decision to just shift and prioritize myself. Waking up daily, staying on campus late, going on the weekends, doing all the things. Anybody who works on a college campus, you don't have one job, especially if you're a senior leader. You are literally wearing multiple hats all the time. And you're leading a team of, between the different offices, I had about 50 people that reported up to me and stuff. So it was challenging. and I look back on it now and I was like, okay, that prepared me for now. But
Right.
it was
Right.
definitely challenging.
I love.
So I made that decision. So I made that decision to leave and pursue other opportunities. And another opportunity was presented to take again the skill sets and the transitions that the skill sets and all the things that I've learned along the way to take that into higher ed. It was still higher ed adjacent, where I was doing online program management. So it was partnership programs that I was supporting. And so I worked for 2 companies. My original company I started off with got acquired by another company. And by the time I had worked with them for about 4 years, and again, I think I made a decision. I was done. So I left them. I was like this associate vice president for partnerships. So that was the title, fancy title, but a lot of it was not the same as having a lot of.
Right.
It was like it was working with a couple people that reported to me, but not to the same significance as before. So it was good, fancy title, good money, a lot of sales, a lot of partnership work that I was doing, but again, not fulfilling.
Right.
You're now on the different side of higher ed, doing sales work, and so that's when I made the decision to talked to my husband. I was like, I think I need something else.
Mm.
And we made that decision to transition here. And I started loving what I was doing. I was like, maybe there's something else I need to be doing, and made the decision to leave. And now I'm here.
Wow,
So I
I
did that in
love that.
April. Yep.
I love that. Dr. Lisa, I love how you didn't let life you, you lifed.
Yeah.
Okay. Whatever changes you went through life, you stuck with it and was like, I'm going to do this. And I love how you explained the pivot and it being okay to pivot and it being okay to start over in a new area. Okay.
Absolutely.
I want to send that topic a little bit. Sociology, social work, business administration, PhD in leadership and education, right? What area did you enjoy working within the most?
I forgot to say the PhD. So the PhD was doing the 15
Yeah.
years. Yeah, that happened during
Okay.
that time
Right.
frame.
Yeah.
Yes, I did mention the PhD. Yeah, the PhD
Right.
happened. And the PhD, just so that you understand the context of the PhD, because I was, and as you can tell, I love learning. So
Right.
that's kind of my thing too. Because I worked on a college campus where everybody was like doctor this, doctor that. And if you work on a college campus, you'll get that. Either you'll get inundated with that and you'll feel a certain way, or you don't, it doesn't bother you. For me, it bothered me, and it felt like
Mm.
there was something that I needed to prove to myself, like, what makes this person better than me? I can
Right.
do that
Okay.
too. And so it was kind of
Mm-hmm.
that own, kind of a little bit of an ego thing, but at the same time I felt like, I could do it. So that happened along the way. But when you think about my pivots, hindsight's 2020 when you think about all the different twists and turns in my life. And I actually will say this, and I didn't share this as much either. Thank you so much. I didn't share this as much either, that my marriage ended in infidelity. I don't talk about this. I was like the unknowing, unsuspecting wife
Mm-hmm.
that
Mm-hmm.
had no clue. Your marriage was smoke and mirrors, and it wasn't, all that you
Right.
thought it
Right.
was. So I say that because, at the same time, in that moment of being kind of crushed about what was happening and what was going on, um, I think it's the best thing that ever happened to me.
Mm.
I really do. I think that person, the trailing spouse I mentioned, that person who kind of was a little bit codependent on his decisions and what we
Mm-hmm.
did, doesn't exist anymore. My current husband, he doesn't know me to be that person.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't know me to be that person that's kind
Wow.
of very subservient and passive and mousy, in that way.
Right.
And not that, I mean, there are people like that, and that's okay. But at the same
Mm-hmm.
time, that really wasn't who I was. And I wasn't really living up to my potential because of that, because I was being comfortable and safe in that relationship. And so at the same time, I think meeting somebody who I was supposed to meet, who I was supposed to be in a relationship with, and we both previously been married, we were able to kind of see the beauty of what happened in our past and how we could bring that to our marriage in a positive way and make sure that we were taking care of each other. And that's what we've been doing. So he's been my best champion and partner throughout this whole experience. So I think the pivots needed to happen so
Mm-hmm.
I can get to where I'm at today.
Okay. Makes sense.
And there's still more to come. Who knows what the future will hold?
Definitely.
But
Definitely.
that's what I see this as. I think it's the beauty of seeing life for what it's worth. And sometimes you're in it and you feel
Mm-hmm.
like, oh my gosh, this is horrible. This is devastating. But you need that so that you can kind of hopefully grow. And those experiences truly are a teacher. So that's the way I feel about it. Yeah.
I
So
love that.
this was necessary.
Speaking of experiences, I want to take it back a little bit. I want to take it back to some years with the younger Dr. Lisa. Okay, how was your overall college experience? I'm always discussing with my community the college experience and those who are interested in going back to school and kind of apprehensive about it. You've went back multiple times. How was your overall college experience?
You know what? When you're in it,
Say no, yeah, say it. When you're in it, you're not thinking about that.
no, you're not.
Okay,
And
okay,
if you are thinking about it, you're like, when is this going to be over?
okay,
So I'm ready for it to end.
right,
But no, when you're in it, it goes so quickly. I will say this. I jokingly say that I did almost a prison sentence. So
okay.
I did 8 years. I did an 8-year
Mm-hmm.
bit. and at the time, Champaign, Illinois. So I was at the U of
Mm-hmm.
I. And Champaign, Illinois is not what it is today. They've had this whole revitalization that they've done, and it's like a nice city. It was
Right.
cornfields when I was there. And I know back in the day when I was there, we were walking in the snow and all this other stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
it's not the same. It's not the same. But
Right.
at the same time, you're like, okay, let me just get through this. Let me just get through here. There's a bright light at the end of the tunnel, and I'll be fine. And I'll be making a lot of money and have all these jobs and all this other stuff,
Mm-hmm.
which is not
Mm-hmm.
necessarily true either. But it was a good experience. I enjoyed my undergrad. There's some things I think because I worked on a college campus much of my career,
Right.
as well as was a student on a college campus. My daughter's in college now, and I think I was really a helicopter mom her freshman year, part of her sophomore year, where I was like, you got to have these experiences, take advantage of this time. You don't want to miss out, do these different things. And so she did do some things. She did listen to me to a certain extent, but obviously I've kind of been here in this space quite a bit, and I'm letting her journey be her journey. And
Right.
hopefully she'll look back and not feel as if she missed out on things. That's what I tell her. I said, you don't want to feel like you missed out, but at the same time, you got to figure out what you want to do with your college years.
Exactly. I love that. I always want to, reel it back into healthcare or apply some type of healthcare conversation. So, social work. What inspired you to pursue a career in social work?
You know what? In all fairness,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know any better. I have to be honest with you,
Okay.
because that's all I knew.
Mm-hmm.
Coming, if I had to do it all over again, if I was really, really honest with you, and I knew kind of what I know today, I probably wouldn't have done social work. I might not even have done the MBA. I would have probably gone to law school. I think, in
Why?
all fairness, because I wanted to go to law school, but I didn't get good advising in undergrad. I think I went to, how you say all your life, you're like, oh, I want to be a lawyer. I want to be a lawyer. And then you got to law school, and it was just poor advising. I think
Okay.
back in the day, there wasn't the same programs and support services that exist today to kind of help you understand going to law school and what does that look like. You said
Mm-hmm.
lawyer's rod, that's cute. But I probably would have done that with the proper advising. Now, social work came about really, really because of my background. My mother
Mm-hmm.
was a foster care parent. I saw that when it came down to, and you guys know this, when you're applying to any graduate program, you're talking about your lived experience, your
Right.
whole experience. And so with that, for me, it was like, oh, well, let me paint the story of my childhood, and seeing my mother as an example of someone who was a caregiver and supporting young people and helping them through this devastating situation as a foster parent. And I remember writing that as my application and being exposed to that, but also being a part of that, because the whole family helps in that situation.
Mm-hmm.
And so being able to share that as an example of my why, but probably not being very passionate about that
Okay.
about that particular degree in career field. So
Mm-hmm.
I probably should have thought about that differently. Now, hindsight, I can say I learned a lot. I grew
Right.
a lot. I bring a
Right.
lot of the things that was taught to me, my childhood experiences, the curricular experiences too. I bring that to who I am today and how I talk to people, how I understand we all have a story and a journey
We do.
that we've been exposed to, and sometimes we show up in different
Mm-hmm.
ways because of that.
Mm-hmm.
And I can understand that. So I think it was very helpful for just shaping how I think about people and relationships and stuff. But I probably would have done something differently in all fairness. I don't
Wow.
know if
Okay.
that's the answer you wanted to hear, but I
It's,
probably
but guess what? It's transparency, and I'm always preaching about transparency over here. So I love that. I love the transparency, and I love the honesty. I want to switch gears a little bit. We always discuss representation and being in different spaces and making sure that we are seen and heard. Okay. What would you navigating corporate America as a person of color? And that could be those out there. That could be a regular 9 to 5. That's still corporate America, okay? With your lived experience, your acquired experience, navigating corporate America as a person of color. Any advice? 2 tips or 2 advice that you could share for these people of color. People of color are black and brown, okay?
Yeah.
Advice.
Yeah. Okay. So my career, I was often the what you call the only lonely,
Okay.
the
Mm-hmm.
only black woman, the
Mm-hmm.
only person of color, the only woman. It was
Mm-hmm.
often, and many times I was in around, leadership tables where I was it, and I had to be the voice of all people who were marginalized and underrepresented. So with that, so I can relate to that experience. I know what it feels like,
Right.
and because of that, I was very passionate about creating circles and spaces for people to come together.
Mm-hmm.
So at my prior institution, I founded our Black Women's Circle. And so it's funny, I kind of, have that kind of here too. I've created a
Mm-hmm.
space for women as well. But the majority of the women in our agency, majority of the people in our agency are women. And so, and women of color. And so with that, I created that as a space for us to come together. We were on a PWI and just thinking about predominantly white college, that's what that means, institution. So we were there, and there was often spaces that we felt like we were the only one in the room, and we were. That's just the reality of it. And so that was a space for us to come together and be able to kind of take the mask off, talk freely, share some different things we were navigating, and have that space for us to kind of come together, commiserate a little bit, but also say, okay, now let's exhale, and now let's go back out there and do the great fight.
Right.
And so with that, I think it's important to find your people, your community.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't create it, at least find a space where you can have that. Oftentimes it's challenging just to be in a room, and you're trying to understand and process, microaggressions that are happening, or toxic masculinity that's happening,
Mm-hmm.
whatever the case may be. And so now you have to do it with all the different stereotypes that overlay Black women being aggressive or angry or whatever the case may be. And so just being able to have a space where you can be mask off and just feel comfortable and feel like you can share your experience in an authentic way, but not feel like you're being judged.
Right.
So I wanted to create that space. I wanted to help people understand, like, this is so we can do this. We can be okay.
We can.
We can do this. So I did that at that institution. And then oftentimes from a leadership perspective, I'm always thinking about, as you rise, you pull up, but also as you are in a space of leadership, you need to find your people who you can look up to and support. So I did a lot of national conferences, and was with one of my conferences for student affairs.
Mm-hmm.
They had another program. It was like an executive mentorship program that I was able to participate in as well. So that was helpful, and just helpful, just being in a space with women, and primarily women. It wasn't just women of color; it was all women. But it was helpful just understanding the challenges of being in that C-suite and what does it mean to support.
I love that. And this is one of my favorite topics. One of the courses I do teach is cultural competency for healthcare professionals, and that was part of my dissertation.
Okay.
So I want to stay on the topic a little bit, right? Cultural humility. What does it mean to you as it relates to education and as it relates to your previous work within social work? Cultural humility.
Well, at the end of the day, kind of like what I said before, you want to make sure that you respect people's lived experiences.
Right.
And I think when people come to any space, they're coming based on their upbringing, based on their cultural heritage, based on things that they learned along the way. We talk about in social work, they used to talk about nature versus nurture, and what does that mean to hold people based on their, again, experiences of life. And so just recognizing that we're all, have some perspective, something that we are bringing along the way that arrives right there in that conversation at that moment in that space. And so how do we acknowledge that? And how do we respect that too, to a certain extent? Like, you gotta respect that, because that's not your culture, that's theirs, that's their experience, that's how they were raised and brought up, and so you need to respect and acknowledge that. and at the same time, if you can support, people understanding who you are and what you bring to the table in a respectful way, I think that's important as well. So, I just think it's always important to ask questions and not make
Right.
assumptions about people. And
Hmm.
at the same time, even in, as we're navigating social media and looking at people's content or coming to their live streams, understanding that that live host has all of their lived experiences that they're bringing to that moment.
Right.
Yeah.
I love that. I don't like to get too political, off in office hours with Dr. Johnson, but I'd like to ask a couple of my guests this question, okay?
Sure.
The current political climate, how do you feel it is or would affect higher education, or how it would affect the field of social work or just healthcare overall? From your acquired professional skills and experiences, how could this current political climate affect higher education, social work, or healthcare overall? Let me lean in.
Oh, you're so funny. What I will say though, what I will say about this is that I I don't know if our country is ready for um, the repercussions of people not
Mm,
having enough services and enough support. I think it's going to create new crises that we have not even imagined at this
okay.
point.
Mm-hmm.
So you think about, I think about LA or California in general, where you think about what's called Skid Row.
Mm-hmm.
That happened because of taking away mental health services and other
Right.
resources and stuff. The facilities, a lot of those facilities across the nation closed down, and it created a crisis for homelessness that we
Mm-hmm.
didn't imagine. And what does it mean for mental health services for people and stuff?
Mm-hmm.
And as we do this across the nation and continue to do this, again, I don't know if we're ready for the repercussions of that.
Right.
And I think that's the scary part of it, because it's not going away. We can't pretend like it doesn't exist. And we can't ignore the fact that support services are necessary. And how do we invest in that? How do we support them? How do we make sure that there are resources available for people who desperately need them? And
Right.
so, just from a personal note, my sister is a mother of five,
Mm-hmm.
and one of her kids is diagnosed with schizophrenia.
Okay.
And so she's had to navigate getting resources and support for him. And, he's a young man, he's in his mid 20s now, and, he's an adult, but
Mm-hmm.
still he needs help. And he needs her to be his advocate.
Right.
He needs her to be his resource person too, to help him. And she's having to navigate a lot of the red tape of the healthcare
Mm.
systems, and,
Mm-hmm.
some of the politics that's happening with, is he of age, and because he's of
Right.
age, what kind of support can she offer him? Is there a program that she can get additional services and support and stuff? And so she's navigating that right now in the state of California. And so
Mm-hmm.
it is something that I don't think we're ready for. And those things aren't going away. I mean, as much as we like to think, well, yeah, it's all about the money, or people should be able to manage themselves. That's not the case. There are people who desperately need it. So
Right.
yeah, so that's what I would say about that.
I love that. And this was a good segue into my last final two questions for you. I ask all of my guests these two questions. Best practices for staying on top of your mental health. What does Dr. Lisa do to
Oh,
stay on top of her mental health overall?
well, you know what? So it's funny. I actually am a Peloton person, so I have a
Okay.
Peloton, and so most nights, I'm not gonna say every night, because I think it's gotten away from me a little bit in the last couple months or so. But with that, I do their nightly meditations. So I do
Mm-hmm.
meditation. So I do a meditation in the morning. So when
Mm-hmm.
meditation happens before I take my son and we walk to school together. So we do the 5 minute or 10 minute meditation, and then I do it at night as well. And then I try to stretch. So that's what I've been doing pretty much. I got the Peloton in 2023. So
Mm-hmm.
that's been part of my daily routine, for lack of a better word. I do the walking him to school. So I get a mile there, a mile back. So I get 2 miles in. And
Right.
then if I have time, I'll stretch. And then, like I said, I've already done the meditation. I've already and then at nighttime I'll do meditation again. But that's what I do. I probably need to have a little bit more high impact workout. That's kind of
Mm-hmm.
my own athletic guilt. Like I need to get back on it again and be a little bit
Mm-hmm.
more high impact. But that's what I do right now, walking.
I
Thank
love
you
that.
so much.
I love that. To wrap it up, Dr. Lisa, your overall why. What is your overall why as it relates to the work that you do, as it relates to you being a leader, as it relates to you being a subject matter expert in leadership and education? What is Dr. Lisa's overall why?
You know what? I this may sound a little selfish.
Mm-hmm.
And that's probably why I left the previous job and I decided to lean into this. I need to feel, thank you so much, y'all so sweet. I need to feel like I'm making a difference. I need to feel like it is healthy for me,
Mm-hmm.
both mentally and physically healthy for me. I don't want to continue to do stuff based on other people's terms
Okay.
and other people's rules and stuff like that. So
Right.
I think that's my why. If it doesn't serve me, if I'm not happy with it, then I'm all about, okay, it can't stay. I can't continue to do this.
Right.
And so I've made some significant changes in my life. Thank you so much. You're so sweet. I made some significant changes along the way, those pivots that you talked about, because
Mm-hmm.
I was like, why am I doing this?
Right.
Like,
Right.
why? And because of that, if I couldn't answer the question in a honest, authentic way, um, I didn't continue. I didn't do it. So that's what I would say to that. So my why is me. I'm my why.
I
Yeah.
love that.
Yeah.
I love that. Well, Dr. Lisa, thank you so much for stepping into office hours with Dr. Johnson. I appreciate you. Once again, your subject matter expertise, I had to make sure I brought that over to here. I had to make sure that I showed people it's all right to pivot, and you shared your story in how you pivoted personally and professionally. So I appreciate you being transparent and sharing your journey overall, Dr. Lisa.
You are so welcome, sir. I appreciate what you're doing here. This is important
Mm-hmm.
for your community, for our community, for the TikTok community.
Mm-hmm.
It's important work, and I think people need to recognize that. When it comes to health education, it comes in all forms. Mental, physical, financial, all the things. And how are we really uplifting that? And so that's so important. So I appreciate you. I know you are a fellow Floridian, so
Okay.
good to see your neighbor.
Yes,
And
ma'am. And I think we're closer than not to get too. I think we're closer than I didn't realize that.
yeah.
Okay,
So
don't put me out of character, Dr. Lisa. Thank you so much for stepping into office hours with Dr. Johnson. I appreciate you, and I appreciate your whole team and your whole community over here. And also, I just want to shout out now that I have some of your community over here too. Once again, I told them, and I just want to make sure I tell you, I appreciate because there's a couple comments. Oh, is he in our agency? He's in our agency. I appreciate people who are genuine. Genuine. I'm not gonna say genuinity. That's not a word, y'all.
it's not a word.
It's not a word. And somebody said I was too Caribbean. I appreciate creatives. I appreciate people showing up for themselves. I appreciate quality content. And there are some great people who I'm connected in your agency who are producing great content, quality content. I'm still going to be engaged no matter where I'm at. I'm still going to show up. I'm still going to support. It's about support first, no matter who you're tied to or what agency or organization you're part of. It's about showing up and support. And that's what I'm, going to continue doing, just as a creator on here and as I'm continuing to build my community overall.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
No
Yeah, you're
problem.
absolutely right on that. You're absolutely right because the TikTok is based on community. Tell people that
Community,
all the time.
community first.
Consistency and engagement, and so because of the consistent engagement, you create community. That's
You
the
create
outcome from
community.
it. So
Amen.
so just know that the more you pour into people, the more you
Right.
pour into supporting others, that will be reciprocated.
Right. Before I drop you down, I do want to quick shameless plug. On Thursday, I'm hosting a conference. I do a conference once a month with a different theme, a different panel, different guests. Navigating the winter blues, a mental health panel. Seasonal depression is real. The holiday times is coming. Winter time is coming. People have different emotions during those times. So I wanted to make sure I provided a resource of information prior to the holidays starting, prior to the winter starting, Navigating the Winter Blues, a mental health panel. And Dr. Henry is one of my clinical speakers who will be speaking on that panel as well too. So I just want to personally invite you to come on and just, receive a gem and receive some information and tell somebody who knows somebody who you know of that's experiencing seasonal depression, who during the holiday times doesn't have anyone, or their holiday may look different for them. Share this resource with them. Next Thursday, 7:30 p.m. live here on TikTok. Navigating the Winter Blues, a mental health panel. Sorry, no, this Thursday in 2 days.
Thursday, next Thursday. Okay.
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 2 days. Sorry, y'all, 2 days. Come back in 2 days, okay? Navigating the Winter Blues, a mental health panel. It's important. It's important. It's important, especially within the Black and Brown community. We don't like to talk about it too much. It's important. It's important. It's important. Navigating the Winter Blues, a mental health panel. Dr. Lisa, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Let me go ahead and drop you down so you keep your points. Okay. Do it work like that?
Yeah, it's kind of urban legend. I don't think that's true.
Oh,
no,
okay.
Let me let myself down. Let me see if I see my points.
Let yourself down. Thank you so much, ma'am. I appreciate you. Before I continue, brief round of applause for Dr. Lisa. Once again, I tell you guys, I like to bring up subject matter experts, lived experiences, acquired professional skills, acquired professional experiences. Round of applause for Dr. Lisa before I continue. Okay, I see. I just needed a couple of round of applause. I see you. So before we wrap up, this Professor Tips, it won't be long. My Professor Tips for today, I just want to go over briefly a couple topics of what we're going to be discussing at the mental health conference on Thursday, 7:30 p.m. Okay, Ms. Nayland, I see you. Welcome on in. So not to give away too much, but we're going to be discussing a variety of questions as it relates to navigating healthy relationships, whether that be romantic or platonic. Those are still relationships. Self-growth and the success of self-growth. Okay, the importance of boundary setting. Learning to say no. Okay. Also, once again, important topic, seasonal depression. We all got it. We all lived through it. We all been through it, or if we haven't personally been through it, we know somebody who knows somebody. Okay. We're going to be discussing treatment and coping strategies. Okay. What are some of the most effective treatments? What are some of the most effective resources that are working for a lot of people? Treatment and coping strategies. Another topic is going to be understanding boundaries and self-respect. Okay. Yes, Miss Janae, I see you. The boundaries one, I see you. Okay. Most importantly, I want to make sure the takeaway is understanding seasonal depression. It's all right to not be all right. Let's not get too much into it. We're going to save that for Thursday. But 7:30 p.m. next Thursday, Navigating the Winter Blues, a mental health panel. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. I have 3 subject matter clinical expertise who are going to be sharing their professional skills and knowledge. We have a meeting agenda. We have topics, and they are also bringing on their own resources and clinical notes to share with everybody on the panel. So, Navigating the Winter Blues, a mental health panel, Thursday, 7:30 p.m. Y'all know where to find me live. Okay, it's happening live. Deuces in the chat. Let's wrap it up. Can I get a couple deuces? I don't want to beg. A couple deuces. Dr. Henry, I see you. Janae, I see you. A couple deuces in the chat. Let's wrap it up. Let's wrap it up. Okay, I see them. Leanne, I see you. Yes, this Thursday. Okay, I see the deuces. Y'all, I'll see y'all on Thursday. You gonna wrap it up? I see y'all use the stickers. I appreciate you. Okay, I see the deuces in the chat. I see my flag in the chat. Miss Luna, I see you. Janae, I see you. Mandy, I see you. Y'all, we're gonna wrap it up. This was good. Okay, Janae, definitely. We're praying for Jamaica. We are still praying for Jamaica. I was trying to copy. I see you on pals.
Okay, are we gonna wrap it up? Good night, y'all. I'll see y'all Thursday. Thursday, 7:30 p.m. Navigating the Winter Blues, a mental health panel. It's gonna be big. It's gonna be important. Why is it important? Because we all know somebody who suffers from mental health, or we personally have our own struggles and obstacles that we go through. Okay, Dr. Henry, I'll see you Thursday, 7:30 p.m. Be ready. I know you got your notes ready from me. Have a good night, everybody. I'll see you, Aaron.